Thanks again for watching from Crabtree Hollow, and there's links on the YouTube to go directly to the website. There you can read different instructions as far as how to make a wine glass. You can download those instructions onto your computer and print them out. Also, along with templates of wine, white wine, red wine, and champagne glasses. And those templates are printed out life-size, so you can print them out, glue them on like a piece of paneling or something, or a nice thin piece of wood that you've cut, and have a template that you can use. Also, there is instruction or all about the Hollowing King tool. It's 4 pages, and that should answer any and all questions that you have about the Hollowing King tools and the line. So anyway, I say happy Halloween. Said I was going to have a look at the knob on here and see if there's anything in here worth turning. I have some nice figured wood here. This is tight enough for pins, so I will make it a point to save all that I can, but it just doesn't look like it's going to happen. So anyway, here we go. I have my little paneling pieces here. This is going to be right at 5 inches. Okay, we have the piece mounted now. This is going to be a quick turning. As you can see, it's not exactly on there straight or anything. It's got a little wobble to it, but I am turning this thing at 1130 RPM. So it's going good enough. Have to bring down my curtain. Keep some of the shop clean. And here we go. Yesterday when we were cutting this, I pointed to this and I told the guys I was with, well, this is all rotten. And one of the guys there, Harry, said, no, that's not rotten. Wait till he sees this. Okay, now I can turn it up a little bit. Oh, 730 now, or 1730. Now on this, want to stand off to one side like I am, and that many RPMs. That has a lot of force on it if it happens to come off and hit you. So there's my tenon. For the size this piece is going to be, the tenon should be big enough. I will give myself a good amount of waste wood, or treat myself nice wood. You know, the thing is, it started out as a bowl when I put it on there, but I think I might turn it into kind of a short vase. Depth here, I'm going to leave it a little bit thick as I usually do, because I can always take a little more out. got a little vibration, a little bit of out of round or whatever here. Yeah, what we'll do is go back and take care of all of this. It's a good thing I was standing out of the way, because a piece did come out of there and hit me. This grazed my ear. So it's a good idea always to stand to one side, especially when you have this thing revved up like I do and there's rotten in there. You always got to be careful. Even when everything looks good, you always have to be careful. I use a scraper in the neck of these things because I just can't get in there and do the right kind of job with my sculpting tool, or excuse me, my finish gouge. So I use my scrapers and get the job done, and they do a good job. They if I keep them sharp and go lightly, then they do a good job. There's HK58. I need to bring up the rest just a little bit. I want to be just above center. Give myself a little bit of room here, a little leeway. When we first started hollowing this thing, the blade was turned a little bit. So this was down here, and it was just perfect. But once I get in there, the angle changes a little bit. Of what's going on inside changes some. So that's where this blade comes in, because it's so nicely or so easily readjusted. So we can go down there and find that hole again. And okay, so what happens here? I've got, you know, some rot in this, and so I know that's going to come loose. But I don't have to be afraid of this thing because I'm standing back. On this piece here, this would be the red zone. This would be the area that this thing's going to come off on, or come off in that trajectory if it's going to fly apart. I'm back out of that. The tool is built so I'm out of the red zone. I'm in the safe zone. So it's just another safety feature of this tool. So here we go. Better stop and check to see what's going on here. Looks like we have maybe a 1/4 of an inch before I'm down to the bottom of the pilot hole. We've got good thickness here, good thickness up through here. So as soon as I hit the bottom here, all I'll have, you know, I can take a little bit out here, a little through there, but then I'll use the spring. So we have this type of angle, so we can get in there. That's a lot better there than the other way. Okay, I have ran out of nerve as far as not having the caliper set up. So we will set the caliper up. Now, the caliper, I want to set it up right to here. So, I put the shaft right over the hole. I want the tip of my blade right about here. And then we'll be able to pull that out. Well, before I go back in and do any cutting, I want to make sure that my adjustment's right. Shaft through the hole, okay, through the hole, and then I want to make sure that the shaft goes through the hole, and then I can hit where I want to hit. And I want to keep the shaft right at the same angle in the hole as I set it up. Okay. That didn't last long. Now I'm hitting the meat that's back here. So I'm going to reset the caliper. I'm going to jump past the shoulder and come over here and clean out right in here. So what happens is I do the same thing, only my spring, of course, is on the wrong side of the blade. So I gotta set my spring up somewhere over here. Very good. It's like I knew what I was doing. Okay, what we have here then is over the top of the hole, and then you look straight down and make sure that you have a tangent line running through point A, point B, and then the tangent line would be point C, which is running right perpendicular to the invisible line between the spring tip and the blade. So now, with confidence, we can put the tool back in there, following out on this side. Okay, that rotten part, we hit the rotten part, it's out. So then we've got a big gargantuous hole in this guy, which, okay for this one, you know. They don't all have to be set up the same or look the same. In fact, a lot of people like it like this. So anyway, we will do a little bit more. We're a little bit thick down here at the bottom, and we're set. We're pretty good. I got everything except for right here. Now, a lot of times I wouldn't even mess with it because it's so small of a deal, but people are going to be putting their fingers in through this side hole and all over. When people can't reach down here to feel it with their fingers, I'm a little bit more liberal as far as what I take out. But in this case, we will set up and come in here. Now on this one, I want to say this angle and this angle, I want to come in right in between them, right in the center of them, and the angle of my my blade. And I'll show you what I mean on this. Oh, okay, good. Now all I have to do is touch that a little bit. I can't get on either side of it very much. I've got to go straight in. So we'll see what happens here. See, my spring's going back and forth on each side, which is fine. And I guesstimate what the center is. Coming back this way. Okay, my spring on this one never did stay on this mark. Doesn't have to. Yeah, I guess it's easier to come in from this hole. All in all, that feels pretty good. I'm a little bit thick up here, which is pretty normal for me. I will reset. Well, I'm going to take a little bit more off of that corner or shoulder. Like I say, I go back and forth, that spring goes back and forth, and it doesn't matter which side I leave the spring tip on, I just have to guesstimate where that tip is in there. And you know, it's something that with that spring the way it is, see, it feels really good now. So now I'm going to clean up this side. This side is pretty good all through here. So it's just the shoulder part right here, and I have just a little bit of cleanup to do. So I'm going to reset the blade once again, and this time I want to use more or less the flat part of the blade to clean that up, and I won't even use the spring. So I can feel around in there. I can feel the corner or the shoulder very lightly. I can remove a little bit of material. This is it feels pretty good to me. So all I have to do now is clean up in the neck here and come out and finish this. I'll leave the left hand notch blade on there. I'll turn it so the tip of the blade is hidden up here and out of my way. This area here, for the most part, you want to leave it just a little tad bit on the thick side because of the sanding, okay? It's got to feel good. It's got to have a nice flow to it, coming up out of here and in here, because people like, you know, to put their fingers down there and feel things. And so we want to have a nice, smooth transition from the body to the neck, and then up to the opening. Oh, I feel a little bit of a ridge in here, so I got to go back in. I have to readjust the blade a little bit. Now we'll see what happens here. I know that ridge is right around the corner. See that? See how that tool falls? Okay, so there's the ridge. That's what I need to take out. Ridge, berm, whatever you might want to call it. But that's all I'm working on, is that one little spot. We have a nice transition here from the body down here up through here. So this is, you know, it's going to be a, you know, kind of a curious little piece. We have one other little item to do, and I should have done this earlier, but I neglected to. We will make sure that this thing is worth drying. Okay, perfect bottom. Got about 3/8 of an inch. So by the time everything is all said and done, it'll be pretty good. In fact, I don't have that much because I need to take a little bit out of the bottom, and I'll do that right now. One thing about this one, I can see where I am. Okay, now we have a nice piece. Okay, now it's set. Should be ready to dry. Well, here we go. We have a nice little vase set on a bookshelf or wherever. Depending on the wood turner, you could fill this with whatever, jade or gold or whatever. But I you know, I'll leave it open, and if you know, it's just another view of this vase. You can set it up on a shelf so it'll view from here, 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 and all the views are nice. And but anyway, this is what it is. Thank you.